Good morning, class. Welcome to Business Studies class. Today we'll be moving on to our new lesson, which is lesson 3. And under lesson 3, we are going to move on to our new topic, and that topic is communication. Before we move on to this new topic, communication, let us quickly revise or review what we did during the last class. During our last class, we stopped at transportation. Under transportation, we are able to look at the meaning of transportation as a means of moving people, goods, services, and raw material from one place to another. We also looked at the importance of transportation, where we said some of the importance of transportation it helps in moving people, goods, and raw material from one place to another. We also said it helps in creating job opportunities for people. We also said that it helps in improving the standard of living. Then we also move on to types of transportation. Under the types of transportation, we looked at road transportation, rail transportation, air transportation, water transportation, and pipeline transportation. All these was what we looked at during our last class. Today, like I have said, we are moving on to communication. Before we move on to that topic proper, I would like to appreciate your efforts. People like Shade, Etigo Emmanuel, Sule Adiola, Timileyin, Oriagba, and so on and so forth. Keep it up. The sky is just the beginning for you. Yes, like I have rightly said, today we are moving on to another beautiful topic, and that topic is communication. Under this topic, communication, our objective is going to be 3 major objectives. Our objective will be 3 major objectives. At the end of this beautiful topic, communication, we are expected to be able to 1. Define and explain communication. Define and explain communication. 2. List and explain the importance of communication. 2. List and explain the importance of communication. And our third objective will be to be able to list and explain the means of communication. All these 3 are the objectives that we are expected to achieve at the end of this beautiful topic, communication. Yes, I am beginning to see you raising up your hands. Yes, you want to contribute. Yes, clap for yourself. Well done, guys, well done. Yes. Now let's start with our very first objective, which is communication. Yes, when we are talking about communication, communication can simply be defined as a process of passing information, idea, knowledge, feelings from one person to another or from one place to another. I will come again. I said communication can be defined as a process of passing information, idea, knowledge, feelings from one place to another or from one person to another. Communication is an essential part of all human activities because we need to pass information, we need to pass ideas, we need to pass knowledge, we need to even pass how we sometimes feel so that others can understand how we are feeling that cannot be expressed through sometimes using our mouths. That now takes us to the importance of communication. One of the importance of communication is that it helps in the transmission of information. Yes, I said it helps in the transmission of information. When we are saying transmission of information, that is passing of information from one person to another or from one place to another. The transmission of information is very essential, particularly because in our society we need to communicate on a regular occasion. And the transmission or the movement of information, ideas, knowledge, feelings from one place to another or from one person to another is an essential part of our society. The second importance of communication is that it helps to reduce the cost of traveling. Yes, communication has greatly helped in the reduction of traveling expenses. I can't imagine, because you want to go and pay a visit to your aunt or your uncle or your parents, for instance, outside the country, for maybe just to discuss something that will not take you up to 1 hour, and you'll be spending huge amounts of money. But with the help of communication, that has been reduced by allowing us to be able to pick up our phones or even use our email to communicate those things to them, thereby reducing the cost of travel. The third one, it helps to reduce the rate of accidents. Yes, the rate of accident has been reduced through the help of communication, because most of the time those things that we need to travel for has been reduced through communication, thereby reducing the number of vehicles on the road, or even reducing the number of times that we move far and near in the name of traveling from one place to another. The fourth one, it makes learning possible. Yes, it makes learning possible. Communication has made it possible to learn. Even during this period of COVID-19, through the help of communication, we have been learning one thing or the other, and meaning that if there is no communication, this will not be possible. Then the last one, then, it makes trading possible. Yes, trading has been made possible. Instead of us traveling far and near, for instance, because you want to buy something from China, every time you'll be traveling to China, that has been reduced by communication, by allowing us to be able to communicate through the internet, through the phone, transact the business. If the agreement has been reached, you can also send the money to the seller of such goods, and in return he will send you the goods. That now takes us to means of communication. Means of communication. When we are talking about means of communication, there we are going to look at the procedures or the ways that communication can take place. And basically, under the means of communication, we are going to look at two means of communication. And the first one we are going to look at is olden day means of communication. Olden day means of communication. And when I say olden day means of communication, I can see that you are nodding your head. Yes, Shade, yes, Musharafa, yes, yes, Timileyin, yes, Sule Adiola, yes, 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 Edgar, I can see you too, yes, very well. Now, when we are talking about olden day means of communication, in the olden days they have their own ways and means of communicating. They have their own ways or means of communicating. Some of the ways in which they communicate in the olden days is by using drum. If you look at the picture there, you will see that I have been able to paste different means of communication in the olden days. For instance, in the olden days, they used drum to communicate. Yes, the drummers, when they beat the drum, they use it to communicate one message or another in the olden days. Another one that you can also see there, yes, Shade, yes, smoke signals, yes. When you look at smoke signals, it's also a means of communicating, whereby, for instance, it is commonly used by the hunters who go to the deep bush. You know, the deep forest most of the time is a very big place, and if care is not taken, when you spread out to go and look for bush meat to hunt or for animals to hunt, you are likely to lose yourself. But you know, in the olden days, they don't have phone, they don't have all these gadgets that we use nowadays. So to communicate for them is to use the method they have then, which one of them is smoke signal. All they have to do is just to find some woods and place it on the floor and burn it up with what? With fire. Yes. So that smoke will go up, and as that smoke goes up, all their colleagues that are inside that forest will trace towards the direction of that smoke, and before you know what is happening, everybody will be located. Another one is through the horse. Yes, it's through the horse, depending on the person that wants to send the message. Another one also is by using a town crier. Yes, the town crier. Yes, Musharafa, you are saying you know that one. Yeah, all they will do is to be hitting that wood with that iron metal that you are seeing on the screen. So that sound will attract people, and they normally come together in an open space where the town crier will now pass the message to them. All these are some of the olden day means of communication. The second means of communication that we are going to discuss is called modern day means of communication. Modern day means of communication. When I say modern day means of communication, I am trying to refer to means of communication that we use nowadays. Nowadays they refer to us as jet age children. So we have our own modern way of communicating, and one of such is using a megaphone. Yes, if you look at that picture, you will see that one man is standing with a megaphone, and the other group of people are standing in front of him. Now that megaphone, yes, you are right. Yes, Taiwo, you are right. The one that we use in our school on the assembly ground. Very good. Clap for yourself. Well done, well done. Now, if you look at the megaphone, the essence of the megaphone is also for communication, because it helps in enhancing or increasing the volume of that person's voice. When you are in a crowded place, at times your voice will not be able to go far and near, but with the help of that megaphone, immediately you put that megaphone in your mouth and you speak inside it will enhance and increase the volume, whereby everybody that are there will be able to hear about what you are saying. Another one that is also common nowadays is using your laptop or your computer to communicate. Yes, if you can see, there is a lady there on the screen sitting in front of what? A computer. Yes, you can use your computer or your laptop to communicate, either by typing the message and sending it, or even if you are on the internet, instead of you printing it out, you can easily attach it to the mail or other social media means of communicating. Then if you look at that person again sitting down, he is holding phone. Yes, Musharafa, you are correct. Yes, that person is holding phone. You can also communicate through the use of your phone, whereby you can send text message, you can make a phone call, or you can even use a WhatsApp, and so on and so forth. Then if you look at the third one that I just come up, you will see that other means through which we can communicate, by the use of phone, by the use of radio, by the use of television, and so on and so forth. All these are modern day means of communication. So far so good from what we have been learning on communication, whereby we have been able to define communication as a means of passing information, ideas, knowledge, feelings from one person to another, from one place to another. We have been able to also look at the importance of communication, whereby we said it helps in making trading possible. It also helps in reducing the risk and the expenses of traveling. It also makes it possible to communicate with ease. We also moved on to discuss means of communication, where we are able to look at two means of communication. The first one we looked at was olden day means of communication. The second one we looked at was modern day means of communication. That was everything that we have been able to discuss so far. Any question? Yes, well done, Shade. Yes, yes. Very good, very good. Clap for Shade. Very good, very good. Well done, well done. Shade, you have been able to also give us some of the means of communication in the olden days and the modern days. Keep it up, keep it up. Since there is no question again, I have an assignment for you. Now, your assignment, all you have to do is just to click on the link below. Click on the blue link below. When you click on it, it will direct you to your assignment. Fill the necessary part that is asterisk with red. Do your assignment very well, and at the end, when you scroll down, when you finish the assignment, you will see a submit button. Click on the submit button and the assignment will be submitted automatically. I am expected to see your assignment latest by Friday morning. Latest by Friday morning. That is all we have to discuss for today on communication. Any further question, any further suggestion that you have for me, you can communicate through my email address, which is juwon1518@gmail.com. You can also communicate with me on my WhatsApp line, which is 08052351895. That is the end of our lesson for today. Have a pleasant